All right, here we go. Inflation Nation. We are watching those sky-high consumer prices that we're all still paying, I should say, as we await the latest inflation report. Some economists are warning that the expected drop in inflation will still not be large enough to cause the Federal Reserve to halt their interest rate hikes. All of this despite Americans struggling with record credit card debt and growing concerns over the state of the U.S. banking system. Mohamed El-Erian, Allianz chief economic advisor, is here, and he is on set with us in New York, and we appreciate that. Great to see you, Mohamed.
Thanks for having me.
What do we need to know about this inflation report? I think as American consumers, we're all still feeling the sky-high inflation. We're paying for it in some way or another. So if prices come down in this report, like they're expected to do, this is going to be a good indication what's going to happen next with the Federal Reserve. So how are you watching all this?
So the inflation rate, the rate at which prices go up, is expected to come down from 6% to about 5.5%. That's the good news, but it stops there. 5.5% is way too high. That robs us from our purchasing power. And my expectation is that the Federal Reserve is going to hike another 25 basis points when they meet at the beginning of May. And the concern, Sandra, is that inflation will not go back to that 2% target without causing damage to the economy. That's the main concern I have. And that's simply because we started too late in our inflation fight.
Interesting.
And a couple of questions for you on electric vehicles, which the Biden administration is essentially going all in on. Very ambitious. If we can pull up these full screens right here, we'll talk about what their goals are. The administration wants by 2030, 54 to 60% of all new cars sold to be electric vehicles. And then by 2032, they want it to be 64 to 67%, essentially 2/3 of all new cars sold. And then if we can pull up the second full screen here, this is where we're at right now, though. At the end of 2022, only 5.8% of all cars sold were new cars, were electric. So how realistic is this goal of hitting almost 2/3 of all vehicles sold being EVs by 2032?
Well, we've got to improve our infrastructure, because without improving our infrastructure, people won't buy in. Look, lots of countries are doing this. The UK went to extremes, saying they're going to outlaw gas-driven cars in 2030. So there's an element of it's not enough to have the carrot, you need a stick to encourage this. Now, whether that happens or not will really depend on all the preconditions being in place. But it's something that's happening around the world as people try to encourage adoption.
I mean, Bill, those numbers are shocking.
I know.
And I should also note that the Biden administration's own energy agency right now is forecasting that EVs will be a mere 10% of the American car market by the year 2050. So we're just not there yet. And you don't have to demand people buy these things if they're popular and people like them. I think this is Bjorn Lomborg's point, almost monthly in the Wall Street Journal. If you create the cars people want, they'll demand them. You don't have to mandate them.
So look at me. When I went to pick up my car from Hertz the other day, the only thing they had left was an electric car. And my first reaction was, I don't want an electric car. I don't know how to deal with an electric car. They said, that's all we have. And it took me a day to get used to it.
Okay.
And now I'm much more open than I was before. So this is really tricky. It's really, really tricky. It doesn't happen naturally, I agree with you. But I'm willing to take way above 10%. On that adoption.
That is a forecast.
It is. It's a bet with you. How about that?
I'll slide $1 over the table. I don't know. You think that we're going to exceed 10% of the American car market? Electric vehicles will.
Yes.
By the year 2050.
Easily.
Fascinating.
Easily.
Can the cost come down? The price of these things?
Oh, the price is coming down. I mean, Tesla just cut its prices. The prices are coming down. The batteries are improving. But critical is a charging station. You've got to make people confident that they can charge when they want to charge it. Nowadays, you can just go to a gas station very easily, but if you need more charging stations.
And real quick, average price right now, $61,000 for an EV. What does it need to get to for more buy-in?
I suspect 40,000.
Got it. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for having me.
All that lithium, it's coming from China, Mohamed.
We need to do more.
All right, great to have you here. Please come back to New York soon.
I will, thank you.
All right, thanks.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.